problem is you will get questions that are mixed in the exam. It's not timed, right? So you can take as much as you like, but the questions are mixed together with other questions and with red flags. Right? So you'll have red flag, you'll have, I don't know, leadership negative, then red flag, then cooperation, red flag again, so on. So it's a combination of everything, shuffled, mixed. It comes in handy if you have a pen and paper close by, so you can tally up your answers. If not, you simply need to practice a lot until you look at the question and figure out, okay, this might be about empathy because it has the keyword listen to people, or emotions. This might be about social talking to others. So words are being used, these keywords are being used to create the actual exam question. Okay, so they're important. Every statement that you see in the exam, they have specific keywords that are part of concept that we're trying to measure. In this case, sociability. For instance, if you think of the following statement, I believe that rules can be bent sometimes, right? The keywords here is rules, bending, right? So we know this is about rule following, but it's negative, right? Because you want to follow rules, right? The concept is rule following, but this one indicates that you can bend the rules. So you would probably want to strongly disagree to it, right? Strongly disagree or say false, or definitely not all of those that would earn you the highest number of points here. This one is reverse coded, right? So because it's negative, if you strongly disagree, right, in your original answers, you would earn 1 point for strongly disagreeing, but in your true answers, true, you would earn 5 points because we reverse coded, right? So one becomes a five, right? So strongly disagree, one in the original becomes five in the true. Okay. So I guess the key message here is that if you want to use this 2-to-1 rule, you really want to pay attention to specific keywords that will allow you to connect the trait with the statement. You want to figure out what the statement is all about and then determine if it's positive or negative so that you can adapt your answer accordingly. All right. So here we have an example of a set of statements that tap into sociability. What I would like you guys to do is determine whether they're positive or negative, and then answer them. And then I'll use those answers to generate that final score.
I like to talk to people when I wait in lines. That's a positive. So let's put that as a agree. And then I like being by myself rather than a group. That's a negative. So let's put that as a strongly disagree.
And this is strongly.
I don't mind making small talk with coworkers. That would be a positive, and we'll go strongly agree. I make friends easily would be a positive, and we'll go strongly agree as well.
I need time alone to recharge after being with people. I'd most probably put that down, or as a positive. No, actually, I'd say negative.
Okay, so look
Sorry.
at this. We're looking at how friendly you are.
Okay.
So how is this aligned? How is this aligned to friendliness?
Well, you put that down. Sorry, Cosman, just go back to sociability, isn't it? So need time to be. I'm a bit stuck on that one, to be honest. Could be either.
So if you need time alone to recharge after being with people, that means people drain you they drain your energy, right? So you
Right.
would prefer to spend time alone more to be more recharged after being
Oh,
with others.
okay.
So it's in opposition with someone who may prefer to be with others to recharge rather than spend time alone to recharge. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, sorry.
So where would you put that when you
Well,
think about this statement in relation to friendliness?
I'll put that down as a negative then.
Yes, correct. And how would you answer this one?
Strongly disagree. And then the next one, I prefer to be alone rather than with others. Well, that would be a negative one.
Yes.
And I'd put.
And how would you answer this?
I'd put strongly disagree.
All right. Okay. So these are your raw answers, your original responses, but your true answers are the ones after we reverse coded your answers, your original ones, right? So as you can see here, this one is positive. So agree in your original earns 4 points. Strongly disagree 1. Strongly agree 5. Strongly agree 5. Strongly disagree 1 and 1. But 1 becomes 5 here. 1 becomes 5. 1 becomes 5. 5, 5, and 4. So this does not totally follow what we talked about, a ratio of 2 to 1, right? This is mainly that you have more 5s than 4s. So your final score will probably be very high. So your final score is an average of your true answers multiplied by 100 and divided by 5, 97. So this is because you have more 5s than 4s. If instead you answer, let's say, disagree here, this would be a 2 here, and it will generate a 4 here. So you see, when you break it down, you end up with this ratio of 2 to 1 overall that will lead you to the 93 score. Otherwise, if you start answering strongly to most questions, you'll either be here or here, but probably here in the far above. But this is not good because they're not looking for people who score here. They're looking for people who score here. If you score here, you will get a very high score, but there's a risk that they may not move forward with your application because you've tried to present yourself too favorably. Okay?